I'm going to ask you to imagine that there existed a movement made up of people who more than half the country deems as irrational, hypocritical, and insensitive, who willfully neglect women's health care, and who ruthlessly plot to force women to give birth, who are rumored to attend their marches holding passive-aggressive signs that claim to support women, yet simultaneously referring to them as baby murderers. And they do it all with gloating smiles on their faces. This is how the pro-choice movement portrays pro-life. Some of you are already aware of this, but I hope you would take a moment to really ponder what I'm saying. The pro-choice movement has successfully brainwashed more than half our country into believing the lie that their side is the one with compassion for women and their children. 16 years ago, I was fooled by this narrative. And now more than ever, our young people are at risk of falling into the same deception. Again, my name is Megan Mastro. I'm a daughter of God and a mother who lost her child to the abortion industry. 3 years ago, I considered myself anti-Catholic and fiercely pro-choice. I grew up as a lukewarm Christian, and after checking off all my sacraments, I felt as if I had graduated church. 1 year later, I became pregnant at 16, which I viewed as a time-sensitive problem that needed to be resolved. My sense of urgency stemmed from all the classic concerns that a pregnant 16-year-old would have: the threat to my high school reputation, my financial situation, and the destruction of my future plans. Growing up, abortion was described as unfortunate, yet not uncommon. No one was brave enough to warn me about the gravity of the decision, and I'm ashamed to admit that after my abortion, I felt relief because I had avoided the taboo teen mom stereotype. On the day that the life of my child was terminated, the abortion provider I went to had warned me ahead of time not to look over at the sidewalk advocates. They recommended that I disregard all erratic pro-life people. The facility was either knowingly or unknowingly igniting a fear regarding how pro-life people would treat women like me, or worse, what they would call me, a baby murderer, the infamous slur which only shuts down dialogue and instigates mutual animosity. Years following the abortion, I was convinced that pro-life people were women-hating Jesus freaks, obsessed with punishing women. So as a response to their perceived hatred towards me, I began to advocate for abortion. In college, I observed that mainstream female empowerment celebrates a woman's right to choose. So with the intent of helping other post-abortive women, I often expressed my gratitude for the abortion and my lack of regret. The hidden truth, unbeknownst to me, was that my body was in a state of perpetual grief due to the unnatural loss of my son. My interior life was chaotic. I felt angry, confused, distraught. For years, I tried to calm the storm using crystals, drugs, and tarot cards. But it was only in Christ, the divine physician, where I found true rest. If you would have asked me just 3 years ago what I knew about the pro-life movement, I would have told you that they were void of compassion, spiteful and unforgiving towards those who've experienced abortion, and that they were skilled masters at dodging the concerns about women's health and well-being. Today, I can tell you that I deeply regret blindly believing what I was told about pro-life people without ever giving them a chance. Because it was these beliefs that hardened my heart towards the church and kept me from the sacrament of confession. But finally, 12 years after rebelling as his prodigal daughter, I returned home to my father's house to confess my wretchedness. To my surprise, but probably of no shock to you, I was met with an outpouring of divine mercy. Now I can't even bear the idea of not receiving the sacrament of penance due to its role of acting as the redemptive healing balm to my past. And miraculously, in the months leading after, one by one, my family members followed suit. My mom returned to confession after 8 years. My younger brother after 10. My sister after 16 years. And finally, my father returned after 32 years. Praise be to God. After having once I reconciled with the Catholic Church, I attended an abortion retreat, an abortion healing retreat, where I was given the grace to hear the truth that abortion is an attack on the family unit, women, and femininity itself. And that even though I was a perpetrator, I learned that I too, the post-abortive mother, was a victim of abortion. Instantly, I felt absolute betrayal, sorrow, and panic upon realizing that my son had been taken from me because I believed the lie that abortion was a quick solution, when in fact it was quite the contrary. Suddenly, I was overwhelmed with the jarring understanding that the abortion industry is responsible for the mass deception of the American people at the expense of women. I left that retreat equipped with a new mission: to fight for the dignity of mothers, the lives of their children, and for the minds of all the misled pro-choice people. Our God is truly a divine physician and the author of life, and I have assurance that he continues to redeem my role in his story by using my voice as an instrument to bring souls to the truth. Too often, I see misperceptions held by individuals on each side of the issue, and I pray that my experience of having been on both sides will aid in getting through to these individuals and in teaching others how to better get through to them. This semester, I'm finishing my PhD in Catholic Hispanic ministry, and I'll be looking for a job in Catholic evangelization and public speaking, God willing. This year, I started volunteering with an organization that provides me an opportunity to peacefully dialogue with pro-choice college students about abortion, which has not only been a privilege, but a healing experience. I get to inspire those students to dream of a society that supports and reveres pregnant women. I get to go out and listen to them, to learn about their concerns, respond with love, and shatter their false perceptions of pro-life people. I get to challenge the narrative that says that pregnancy is a time-sensitive problem to be resolved, and I reintroduce it as a profoundly beautiful gift, even when the timing isn't convenient. Most importantly, I get to leave them with my favorite one-liner, rooted in reality and compassion. It's not a personal choice, it's a person. Glory to Jesus Christ, for his mercy and his justice endure forever.